and welcome to January's Ask Ally DIY. Let's jump into these questions. Thank you for your question, Jordan Borges. Outside of our main hobbies, as I said in the intro video, our main hobby is obviously working on cars, but I also like to figure skate and he likes hockey. We also snowboard in the winter and wakeboard in the summer. He likes to surf, although I'm not as coordinated on a surfboard, so I still really love to swim in the ocean, snorkel, and boogie board. We also hike, travel, play pool. I couldn't possibly list everything we like to do, but yeah, there's quite a few things. Thank you for your question, Miguel Hernandez. Making videos together is a definite plan. I think that Steve is starting to become more comfortable with the idea of being on camera. Yes, I'd say that making videos together in the future is definitely on the horizon. Thank you for your question, Christian Martinez. Oh, and thank you for the congrats. We are still in disbelief, and to answer your question, yes, a vlog channel has been something we've kind of talked about, although that also sort of depends upon how everything DIY progresses. We're kind of playing with the idea of uploading a travel vlog from a trip we'd taken to New York on everything DIY, and possibly also a vlog scenario which would be maybe weekly, just doing one to update on or recap on what happened in our lives that week. Potential projects like vlogs also kind of would depend on how content like that would be received by our followers. Is it something you would be maybe interested in seeing? And if so, would you like to see it on this channel or maybe a separate channel? We do have an unannounced vlog channel that has a name which is similar to our DIY name, but it doesn't have any videos published there yet and probably won't have any videos until we get a feel for what our followers are thinking about all that. Thank you for your question, Lukey Luke. Thank you for your question and hilarious hashtags, Ramon Sanchez. No, really, it's all in good fun, actually. Engagement / marriage will happen when it happens. I'm not pressuring him at all. I just, we've been together so long now that we both know that it'll happen and that it's not going to change anything. Like, getting married isn't going to change our relationship at this point anyway. Thank you for your question, Delta Productions. So the story goes that I was looking for a new car because my Honda Civic's head gasket blew, among multiple other things, and I didn't have a ton of money to spend, but I wanted something newish and with low mileage and overall nicer than my Honda. I looked for months and months for a new car, but honestly I just wasn't really impressed with anything I was test driving. I was getting so desperate that at one point I almost settled on a VW, but I just couldn't will myself to buy one, or the one I was looking at, because every single one I had test driven either had something wrong with it or it was missing parts, so it was kind of just back to square one. At the time, Steve and I didn't really know or consider Mazda because either of us hadn't really had any experiences with a Mazda before. But we were looking online, and one day Steve just suggested, he was like, well, you know, we both like the way the cars look, why don't we just check one out? So we set up an appointment at a dealer and I test drove the Mazda 3. I was just floored, and we both instantly fell in love. I couldn't compare it to any of the other cars I had test driven before that moment. I didn't end up buying that particular car, but just after one test drive, I knew I wouldn't settle for any other brand. It was like an economy car that drove like a freaking sports car. It was an absolute blast to drive, on top of having a bunch of other amenities that other cars didn't seem to be offering. So a few days later, I bought myself a fully loaded 2008 Mazda 3. And a couple months after that, we both bought the fully loaded 2010 Mazda Speed 3 because why not? To answer your other questions, yes, we love and have tons of respect for other manufacturers, but we really prefer the Speed because it just fits our personalities and style of driving. What really just boils down to with the Speed 3 for us is that they're nuts to drive and they're always keeping you on your toes. But of course, we look at other sports cars, especially for the future, because with no news on a new Speed 3, we've been finding the GT350 Mustang and Focus RS quite intriguing. Thanks again to everyone for your questions. I know we got a lot of them on the giveaway video. So don't worry if yours wasn't picked for this particular episode. Keep watching the upcoming ones because yours might get picked later on down the line. If you did happen to like this one, please help us out by punching that thumbs up button. Of course, if you want to see more from us and haven't done so already, subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!